Chat! Welcome back to an episode of All the Mods 10 to the Sky. So, since last episode, nothing much has happened. It's only been not too long. So, I did notice that I put the non-fortune pick in here. So, there's that. But we still got a good bit. I also can't remember if I showed this, but we actually don't need to set up this auto crafting or this auto production of Entro. We can actually make it in the reaction chamber by crushing some dust up and combining it with some water, power, and flux crystals. And we can basically double it. So we really only need to do a few of these, and then, but it's fine. We don't have the reaction thing yet. We're not gonna for a minute. I say a minute. It's not gonna be that long. I don't think. But I think I said I wasn't really gonna use drawers for too much, except for like bulk item storage. We actually can use the disk drives, at least for my wants, because there is AE2 things that does not have disks with types, only bytes. What is this? Yeah, it's fine. It's actually really easy to make. We could make a couple of them if we really wanted to. We're gonna start with one. It's so quick, it'll probably not even take that long. And then we can move everything into our system, save for the massive storage bin we have up there, right? So let's see what we're gonna do. We are actually gonna turn off all this stuff. We don't need you anymore. I really don't want this intro going for much longer, but we're gonna come back. Make sure that before you move this thing, you have it taped. Therefore, when you do move it, nothing is going to happen, which is exactly what we want. And we're actually just going to put it down here for now, just to save us some sanity. And we're going to need to click the sender for all these modules that I have, and then go put them all back. This will be fun. So what we are going to do to use this is we are going to throw, instead of a storage bus on here, and it's only going to be for a moment because we're going to get rid of it, we throw an import bus on. And we also need some acceleration cards, which I don't have acceleration cards. That's right, because I moved the thing around. So we're just going to go yoink our acceleration cards from you. And if we throw you into here, there's a little bit of a ramp up time with AE, but after a moment, it will in fact start pulling everything into the system. Everything. Everything and all the things. It'll take a second because I got some, I got a lot of stuff in here. Okay, so what we're going to do for now is we're going to throw the storage controller right there. Grab our storage bus, and then again, priority, we'll just make it 1 high so it goes into there first. Bidirectional, because it is locked, it's not going to go anywhere. Link from controller, slap you in, and you're locked. Boom. Now, everything that has a place to go, well, I mean, it all had a place to go to begin with, but now I should have access to everything again. All my stuff. Yep, perfect. And if you look into here, you'll see that our drive only filled up 33,000 items, which means we have plenty of room. And one of these discs will last us quite a while, because for the most part, things are going in drawers or has in an area that will have some sort of bulk storage. But we're not talking about like diamonds and stuff. They're going to go somewhere else. Arrows, they'll probably stay here. Stuff like that, but that's okay. So if we look at extended AE, there's a few things we are going to want to do. So, I mean, the first things first is we kind of need the circuit assembler, right? Because the circuit assembler, crystal assembler, apologies, is kind of how we get the stuff we need for extended AE, and it's going to require this Entro infused ingots, which you can make in the reaction chamber and the crystal assembler later. But to start off, you need to take some Entro dust, some gold, and some lapis, and chuck it in some water. So, and again, to get Entro, you need to, or Entro dust, you need to crush it up. And what easier way is there than going back and grabbing my accelerator cards, because I took those out and I forgot, than just crushing it into there. And honestly, you know what we could do? Is make a pattern for it, because we are going to use a pattern eventually. If I can find where this stuff is, there we go, bam. We're going to do 64, 64, so it just makes a bunch load. Forgetting that I don't have the right terminal for this, and that's okay. Guess I could have also just done that. These are on blocking mode, right? I guess it probably doesn't really matter that much. That's one thing I probably should have done. Lock crafter. We'll go into blocking mode. Block crafting until primary crafting result is returned. Yeah, we'll do that. Not like it really matters for much longer, but it will. So, anyways. We're going to request another stack. And it'll just go. It'll just keep going until I have the 2. And there we go. Bunch of Entro. Bunch of Entro ingots. And this is kind of the like mainframe for like everything, right? So I wonder if we could actually do... What do I got? I got quite a good bit of slots left for everything. I could probably just have this thing do it for me. And it'll be a-okay. Oop, hold on. Yep, illuminated panel. We want that one. What is it missing? It's missing the casing and the skystone tank. Which means it also needs to learn how to make skystone. Which apparently I did not teach the thing how to do that. Okay, so now this thing should know how to make the crystal assembler. Easy peasy, and it should go by pretty quickly. Perfect, our crystal assembler. And if we place this guy down, I guess we'll just throw it here for now since this is where we're putting everything. I guess I don't actually need to put it right next to the system, but we are going to put it right there. So, in here, we also need some acceleration cards, which we'll get in a second. But essentially, if it needs water, you put water or whatever fluid in here into there, and then it auto-exports. Easy, right? Right. And we're actually going to auto-craft it. Put some auto-crafting stuff in there. So, why did that not want to do what I wanted? Wham! Okay. So you can set it to auto-export, and then you can open the config and just enable that. So it's going to go into there and that. And we'll also lock this again, too, just because we don't want stuff to... It's also blocking mode. I just do locking mode. It's fine. So we don't need the crystal assembler for now. But what we are going to want to have it know how to make is the circuit slicer. And the circuit slicer is pretty nifty. Honestly, we're just going to actually grab everything that we're going to need. And at that point, we should kind of be done with the circuits up here, I think. What else are we going to need? Let's see. And a stone cutter. Okay. So let's throw this in here. We can throw all those in there, and it should quickly make us some stuff, which it might actually need to be touching. Like that. For power. No? Am I missing something? Oh, I need the concurrent press, too. Oh, I forgot about that. Okay, it doesn't need to be hooked up like that. Cool. So now we have a circuit slicer, and honestly, we can get rid of all of these. And all of these for now, because we don't need them. We are going to keep the patterns, though, because we are going to... Well, no, we're going to actually have to change them up again, but that's okay. So I guess we'll just put you there. Grab a pattern provider, and we can put you there with our circuit slicer. And again, same thing. Auto export, enable the side. Grab some more acceleration cards because we're going to want it. And I guess that because you're probably going to need power too. So what the circuit slicer allows you to do is basically take every functionality of the... we actually may want an unscriber just to keep that for now. It's okay. We'll leave it alone for now. But essentially takes all inscriber processes and changes them up. The circuit slicer basically just allows you to take block forms and turn them into 9 circuits all at once, basically bypassing every single inscriber that you need. So it's really nice. We're just going to make a pattern for all of them because we will need all of them. The accumulation we're not going to need quite yet just because we don't have it, and we'll get to that in a moment, I believe. But we can literally make any and all of these processors much quicker, like 9 times quicker. And it is really nice. And we are probably going to do the redstone one just because it's there. Are we actually going to like use it at some point? Maybe. We might use applied flux. I don't know yet, but... And we are going to put this into blocking mode because this does... Well, I guess it doesn't have to be in blocking mode, but that's okay. Anyways, and then the crystal assembler, we're going to need more items. So the crystal assembler can then be used to make, well, for one, all of the extended AE stuff, but also 4 circuits at the same time. And it makes it really nice so that you can do 4 at a time and they go quicker. And you don't have to do the whole 1 at a time, lingo gango kind of stuff. So we're going to get all these patterns in, and we'll see how this works in a second. Another thing we can tell it how to make is this extended pattern provider, which we are going to need, and it's going to be nice so we can have more space for it. So I believe we can probably... Ooh, intro block. And I say we want this one because we are going to want it so it can go a little bit faster. And I believe... Not a little bit faster, sorry, but little... We got more space. We have 9 slots to do whatever we want with here. Compared to the... Alright, you need to hurry up and be done because I don't want to keep picking you guys up. So now we can hold 36 slots instead of just 9, which gives us a lot more room to do everything we want in here with. And again, if you look at the crystal assembler, it's got a lot of different recipes. I don't know what the crystal fixer is. And a lot of this stuff. And a lot of this stuff we're not actually going to use. But we are going to use some of it. One of those things we're going to use it for is this wireless connector. And what the wireless connector allows you to do is essentially take... How do you know how to make flux dust? Because I took it out of the crafting thing because I don't have the interface anymore. Should probably make a crusher at some point, right? Probably. And in order to do that, we're also going to need to make this wireless setup kit, which isn't a big deal. Ooh, singularities. That is something we need to get into as well because those are important. And they're also not even that hard to make. I also want to make this extended pattern access terminal. I don't actually know what it does. But we're going to figure it out today. So charge... Oh, that's not what to do. Alright, before we do the singularities, let's look at the extended pattern access terminal and see the differences between them. So we have the pattern access terminal and our extended pattern access terminal. What do you do? So it looks like we're able to search better, show visible pattern providers with empty slots, show all pattern providers, full height. We can search, so I think we can search the actual item. So like 64, I guess anything that needs a 64K component, that's actually pretty nice. Looks like it's got a little bit more. What if I did 64 here? Kind of the same thing. I don't know. But since we have it, we're going to use it. We'll put you there. Okay, so we need to start making singularities and, while we're at it, matter balls, because this, for whatever reason, needs a singularity. It makes sense. So there's a bunch of different ways to do it. We got the matter condenser, and you can just, you know, take your infinite water cell, throw water into it or cobblestone or whatever you have, and it'll be fine, right? That's one way to do it. There's the void cell. Never done that before. I want to try using Super Factory Manager. I've never used Super Factory Manager before to automate this, Nor have I really used a lot of super factory managers, so I mean it's a first for everything, right? So we're still going to use water, and the matter condenser we're going to throw in here, and we're going to do singularities, right? And that we actually don't need that because we're not. I don't know if we're actually going to need that. We'll see. So, factory disk edit. We're just going to call this singularity / matter ball quickly. Because I'm hoping this will make it go quickly. So, we need to input, or I guess, every 20 ticks do input from sink, output to condenser. Do I not know how to spell condenser? Condenser, okay. And then we'll do end, right? And actually, yeah, so this should work. So if we did that, we could then shift right click and do sync, condenser. I feel like, you know what? You know what? You know what? Condenser. That's why it looked weird. And then we shift those into there. And copying warnings with, wait. Oh. Attempt to fix them. Condenser. Okay. So we see here how it's really slow. Actually, one thing I should probably do. Let's take you off. Is there a way to clear this at all, perchance? $32 energy? Okay. We're going to change this because I want to see a couple of things. I think we can make this work really quickly. Every redstone pulse do. Okay, we'll do it redstone pulse instead, and we'll grab a button. Which apparently, I don't have any buttons in here. That's fine. So we put that there. Condenser, throw into there. Pull. It should be good. Okay, so we have 32 in there. We pulse it. It gives us 8 every time. What I think we can do is it all sides? No. Each side. And that should, for one, make it go a little bit quicker. Yeah, 104. Looks like it gives us 56 each time. Which 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48. There's only 6 sides to this thing. So I don't know why it's giving me, like, I have 7 sides. But what I think we can do is copy it and then, oh. How do I... Alright, here's what we'll do. We'll just throw this against the back wall, and it'll be fine. And we should be able to copy and do it again. And then if we click the button, yeah, 272, 384, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. So I think if we just keep doing this, I can probably do this, copy, paste, just keep doing it a bunch of times. Probably good. How much is it going to give us? Quite a bit. So just do this a bunch more times, and in theory, which with each button press, we should be good. It's going to use a lot of... Oh, this takes a second. How am I... I don't know how to, like, go down all the way. It's fine. Copy. Do enter. Paste it. That should be good. I hope. Invalid programs. It's broken apparently. It's broken down here. Apparently I have used too much. Okay, that's fine. I mean, oh, what are we gonna... I mean, that's pretty quick. So something we could do is set up a pulse timer if we wanted to. Oh yeah, it's gonna lag this thing up. But we're gonna change this to every 20 ticks do. And it should be good. Yeah, look at that. We got a singularity right there. And every 20 ticks, so every few seconds, it's gonna make us a singularity. And I think in theory, actually, if we wanted to, we could come down here, take away one side, which will, you know, whatever. Or I guess 2. Let's do this many. Forget. Input singularity. Input from condenser. Output to barrel. And that should be good. We do need to pull the labels, and we could probably grab that barrel. Go. Barrel, push that back in, and look at that. We have everything working. And it's just going to do this and just give us things. But I think we could make this insanely quick. Every redstone pulse, so it should be stopped. If we grab a timer, just a pulse timer, I need to make brass. That's not the recipe I wanted to use, but that's okay. And set this to every 2 ticks. And we'll be making singularities very quickly. Very quickly. I'm going to make an Omega upgrade. Actually, no, I'm not. What I'll do is let this sit for a bit, because we're going to need a few. Not only for the wireless setup kit, but also for advanced AE, because it needs a load of singularities for everything. How many? I don't actually know how many singularities it takes, but it's a good few stacks, so you're going to want to let this sit for a minute. And if you no longer need singularities, what you could do is change this up to matter balls, and boom, you have a boatload of matter balls just instantly. 16,000, and then yeah, you could throw this back down to 2 ticks and just watch it go up. You know, I think we're good on matter balls for a while. We'll put this back to singularity and let this go. We're gonna grab one though, because this is what it needs to make our wireless setup kit. So if we grab wireless, make one of these, and it should not go that... Oh, look at that. That's insanely quick. And one of these setup kits. Essentially what the wireless connector can do is take your channels and take them wirelessly. They're essentially a dense cable. So if we hooked it up right there, and then say, hang, I don't know, take this up here. I think shift right click to bind them. Boom. And now they're connected. So if we take some dense cables, or I guess, I don't know. Yeah, we'll start with some dense cables. And anything. Pattern provider. Look at that. We got 4 pattern providers. We'll take them. Guess we didn't need that, but cable. Where are all my smart cables? Did I not just have a bunch? Maybe just used them all to make that. That's okay. Boom. We now have 4 cables, or 4 channels on that thing. And I think this will tell you, you got 4 channels on here. Yeah, 4 channels, using 4 channels. There is an additional wireless thing, and I believe it is the wireless hub. That is also pretty decently cool. Here's a quantum link chamber, which we can... shoot. Wrong one. Which is a wild thing to need, I think, but... Essentially what the wireless hub does, which we'll probably use, is it will take up to 8 connectors, and place them all together. So let's just make one real quick, kind of show you what I'm talking about. As well as let's make another set of wireless connectors. Might as well. So instead of doing this one, we could take the wireless hub here, and let's actually take all these away. And just throw one on you, and I guess one on you, and you, right? So let's clear the setting. So if we grab you, oh, setting clear, bound, and bind. You see now we're only using one channel there, but it's also got room for all of them. So if I come back over here and grab you, and actually what I think I can do is probably just bind that and that. Maybe. Maybe not. Let's just grab it. I thought you could do them all at the same time. But now you should have 4 of them, and you can disconnect any single one that you want, and it'll just go like that. But this will essentially allow you to use 8 of these connectors in one spot. It'll still only pass 32 channels, which is, it is what it is. But instead of, say, hang, you have 3 spots where you're going to have 8 channels each being used, you can use one of the hubs and 3 of the connectors instead of using 6 and one of the hubs into one spot instead of using the 3 different spots, if that kind of makes sense. We are going to use not necessarily the wireless hub, there will probably be spots where I'll use them, but the connector to send channels everywhere. Another thing we can do is, in order to make our stuff a lot better, at least our auto crafting, we can take these 8 pattern provider upgrades, which will take a second because it's got to make all that stuff, and then we can come over here and grab all of our molecular assemblers. And so once those are done, we can then put that in there, and we can make our 8. Oh, I need more molecular assemblers. Those intro blocks. You know what? I did this the wrong way. We still need to put these back, and we can reuse them once I actually do make the first set. It's fine. Okay. 8. Let's make 8 of those and watch the crafting process in its glory. Alright, well I think that inscribe is going to take a second. Okay, well, it's fine. We'll set that up later. But now we can take our molecular assemblers, break them, and replace them, and honestly, any of these things, with extended molecular assemblers. And I believe these also still take 5 cards. Yes, they do. So essentially, these things can just do a lot more crafting at faster speeds. And then what we can do is make 8 of these pattern provider upgrades. You could do that, or you could just make the extended pattern providers and place them down. What I could tell, the molecular assemblers did not have that option, but the pattern providers do. So you can do this all in place. So if you have a bunch of stuff set up, you don't have to. Why did I make 16? You don't have to do any of this. So now if we look at our access terminal, we have a lot extra space. And yes, we are going to split everything up, make it all in a straight line, because that is the easiest way to make sure everything is processed properly. And unfortunately for now, we cannot just shift them in, or I guess we can. It's just not going in the slot that I want it to go into. So we will be able to eventually, but for now, this is what we get. So another quick thing we are going to do is, since now we have each of these is 4 times, essentially, this can do 4 jobs, right? Or I guess 8 jobs. 8 jobs. So we have 8 instead of 1. Or I don't even know the numbers. I'm going to throw 6 more of these on here. I guess I'm actually going to go make 2 more because I just want to keep it in a nice square. We're going to take the 16K off for now and throw the 64K on there. Actually, we'll do it this way. Put a 16K there. We'll make 1 more of these crafting coprocessors. I don't actually know how many I'm going to need. Put those 4 there, and boom. Now, each of these pattern providers should be able to use a bunch of the... I don't know. All I know is now we can do a lot faster crafts. With our limitation being our machines, which is fine for now. Kind of like this inscriber, which we're going to get rid of because that was lame. And make an extended inscriber, and I believe this has the same limitations with everything else. Yeah, but again, it just has 4 slots, not 3, or sorry, 1. So I think that's the face we want. I think that'll work. Auto export through any extraction side. I think that's what we wanted to do. And now if I wanted to make... Actually, another thing we can do is we can set the stack size to 4 so that each one can only hold 4. So if I wanted to make, I don't know, pick a dust. I don't know, Fluix dust. Let's make 1 of them. It should make 16. It should split it between all of them. And now we process 4 times faster. And you see how quick that was to make 16 of them? It is just a lot faster and a lot nicer to have that. Let's check on our singularities. Look at that. I mean, we already have 1,500 singularities. Usually in this amount of time, we would only have a few. So this is definitely really nice. It's going to lag this Super Factory Manager in the long run. And we're not going to stick with this. Honestly, I think now we could probably turn it off with the singularities. But I'm going to let it run for a bit longer just so I know. And then we'll switch back to matter balls. And then at some point, we will have this slowly producing. We'll just have 1 or 2 lines of code and having it automatically process and just keep them stocked up for us. And I think you can also make them in the reaction chamber. Yeah, the reaction chamber, you can make them too. It just costs a lot of power. The matter balls, you can't. The reaction chamber is actually something I want to look at too, because you can use this to make Entro, Charge Certus, Fluix, some of this other stuff that we'll get into at some point, probably in an episode or 2, who knows. But we're going to need to actually craft it, and I will make a few of them. Apparently I don't know how to make a furnace. That's sad, but it's fine. I think I used the last column there, so we can use this one. And then if I say reaction chamber, make me 1 please. Boom. So the reaction chamber, let's see. I guess we'll throw you... You got 1 channel there. Let's grab a pattern. We're gonna grab an extended just because I like to make them extended. It's fine. It doesn't matter. No. Is that what I'm gonna do? Yes. So hit you and then you. And I think I need another cable because I think this needs power as well. Oh, I guess I should probably, for one, put this in my backpack. And put you there. Now we have a reaction chamber through any side, and the side will be that one. So our reaction chamber, like this, we can tell it how to make this. We also need to know how to make Fluix, because we don't actually have that recipe. The reaction chamber costs a lot. You could also do the same doubling with the charged, but this is probably fine. Because this will make a stack at a time. It'll use a lot of power, but that is okay. So if we come up here, throw those in there, we now can make Fluix. Let's make 1. It'll make us a stack, I think. I think it was already done. It's already done. Intro. So let's say we wanted to make, I don't know, 32. It'll make 64. It'll crush it down. Our extended provider will crush it down. It'll take a minute. I'm going to parallel craft a lot of these so it's not as slow. But, oh yeah, once it's done, it makes it immediately. So now we can get rid of this machine. We're not going to yet, but we're going to get rid of it. And it will be nice. All right, I think that's going to conclude it for today's episode. Save for checking what we get. which is some cool stuff, I guess. Some extra quartz, some more wireless connectors. That's good. A hub. We got some good stuff. So, chat, hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I think one more partial episode of AE, and then we're done with the main bits of it, I think. We'll see. Anyways, hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, make sure you slap that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.